Today we are supposed to start with the functional definition of money. What is the definition of money and what are the narrow and broad concept of money? Okay, today our topic is features of money. So before we come to that, what are the definitions of money and what is money itself? Okay, anything which is commonly accepted as a medium of exchange is referred as money. Let us write down the definition. You can use this definition in the examination. Anything which is commonly accepted as a means of exchange. Anything which is commonly accepted as a means of exchange is called money. Okay. So this definition you can remember for the money. If a question comes in the short question, define money or what is money, you can quote the same definition. That is anything which is commonly accepted as a means of exchange or as a medium of exchange, that is money. Now coming to the narrow broad definitions or the functional definition of money, it is important to understand just the narrow and the broad definitions of money. What is narrow definition of money and what is broad definition of money? As far as narrow definition of money is concerned, it includes the coins plus notes. Coins and notes act as a narrow money. Okay, someone asks you what is a narrow money? All the notes and all the coins which are in circulation is a narrow money. All the notes and all the coins which are backed by the Government of India and Reserve Bank of India is a narrow money. Means they are given a legal status by the government and by the Supreme Bank, that is the central bank of the country. Next is broad money. What do you mean by broad money? Broad money includes coins or notes, or you can say the narrow money. Narrow money plus quasi money. Quasi, the other name of quasi is liquid money. Quasi or liquid money. Quasi or liquid money. Okay. So broad money includes narrow money, that is coins and notes, plus quasi money or liquid money. What is quasi money or liquid money? A thing which can be easily converted into liquid. A thing which can easily converted into cash form. Okay, means if you sell and you can convert it into cash form. For example, gold is a quasi money. Gold is a quasi money. If you sell gold, in return you receive some cash. So that acts as a quasi money. The bond is a quasi money. The share certificate is a quasi money. The fixed deposit is a quasi money. The recurring deposit is a quasi money. The property paper is a quasi money. All these things which can be easily converted into cash-like structure falls under the category of quasi money or liquid money. Okay. So broad money includes narrow money plus quasi money. If someone asks you what is the broad money, the summation of narrow money plus broad money is called quasi money. Now next point is the features of money. That is the topic of the day. What are the features of money? The first point it says that general acceptability. It should be generally accepted by everyone. It should not be that one part of the population doesn't accept it and the others are using it. Okay, when a government of India declares a currency as a legal currency, it means that it is accepted throughout the country, no matter in which part we reside, but it is accepted by all the communities, by all the people of the country. Okay. The second is divisibility. It must have the feature of divisibility, that is, it should be divided into smaller units. 2000, 1000, 500, 100, 50, 20, 10, 5. We have a series of notes. So that is in a different proportions or different divisions. So that is, divisibility should be there. According to the need, a person can use it. The third is durability. it must have a durable feature. Durable means long lasting of the notes or the currency should be there. It is not that if a note is printed today and after a year it gets damaged, or after a year the numbers are not visible, or something that which you deteriorate the condition of the note. It should not happen, but it must have a longer life. That is, the durability of the notes should be kept in convenience or kept at the prominence level, because it takes a lot of expenditure to prepare a note or to print a note. Next is consignability. Consignability means that it should be different from the other features of note. Okay, it should be easily recognizable. You can recognize it, you can easily identify it. It can easily identify it no matter which part of note you are holding. Means it should be a bit different from the other features. 50 rupees, 150 and 100 rupees, there is a difference in the note. 500, 2000 notes, there is a difference. So it should be different. And the other is that a person who is a blind person, okay, those who read it in the braille structure or braille language, okay, they just touch the note and feel it, and accordingly, according to a diagram or according to some calculation, they recognize that so and so feature of the notes are present in so notes. Okay, if they touch 2000, they can feel and understand this is 2000. They have the calculation of reading it. If you go to the RBI website, www.rbi.ac.in, wherein you will find there is a column Know Your Notes. Wherein in the left hand side there is a column Know Your Notes, wherein the details of the notes are mentioned. Every note has a unique feature, every note has a unique point in that. Okay, and the points elaborate that, points state that even the blind person who is not able to see, with those features only, he can just touch and recall, and he can understand that he is holding so and so notes. Okay, so that should be there. Consignability. Next is portability. It must be portable, that is, it can be transferred from one place to other place without any hindrance. It must have a transferable value. Okay, we can transfer it from one place to the other place without any hindrances, without any difficulty. Next is homogeneity. Homogeneity means it should not be different. Okay, like for example, in Jharkhand, if this 500 is working, the 500, the value of 500 which is in Jharkhand, it should remain same even in the Kashmir, even in the Delhi, even in the Hyderabad. It should not change. There should be a homogeneous in the feature of the values of the notes. It may not differ. It should not be differing in their values. Okay, whatever value you get at one place should be at this other place here. Okay, if we talk about the boundaries within the country, then it should be similar at all places. And the last feature is stability. This is an important feature. Stability is that a market or an economy grows if the notes or if the money is a stable form. If the money is in a stable form, then only the market will grow. That means that, for example, suppose a person from a foreign country who wants to invest into our country, in India, suppose he is investing in a business, and the day of his investment, he finds that the value of rupee is going down compared to dollar. Will he invest? His confidence, his belief will be shaken up, because the value of rupee is deteriorating, is falling every now and then. So there should be a stability in the currency, there should be a stability in the money. Then only the economy can grow or the economy can progress. The progress or the growth of the economy totally depends upon the stability of the money. Money remains stable if the rules and regulations, if the administration, if the monetary systems functions in an efficient manner. Okay, so that is about the features of money. Next is functions of money, which we'll deal in the next class. I just would like to remind you all that you have a homework from chapter 1, which tomorrow is the date of submission. So make sure that you submit without any further delay. Thank you.